Hi everyone, welcome to the Season 2 off-season and the beginning of Season 3. It has been a pretty disappointing year for the Los Altos Juice Frogs, as you guys can see. 5-7 overall, even though we were 4-4 in the Mountain West Conference, which is not a bad achievement. We really dropped too many games against bad opponents like Texas State and UAB. Part of that was my fault, and part of that I found out later was because I realized that my controller was just too worn out and the field goal kicking stick was messed up. And as a result, that caused me to miss a lot of field goals. Probably wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, maybe one game here and there. So probably would have been 6-6 instead of 5-7. But either way, we wouldn't have gotten promoted. And we wouldn't have gotten top 3 in the Mountain West. So here I just want to show you guys all the recruits that we got this year. We got a lot of solid recruits that I'm very high on. We ended up with a great recruiting class, top 25 recruiting class again. And in general, we had really good wide receiver recruits again. So we have 2 guys that are ranked 60, that have overall 69 rating, which I'm very excited about. Of course, with a 90 speed, which is what I recruit. So and I just want to go over some of the highlights of the recruiting class. I am very high on this quarterback, Justin Stover. He has good speed, good acceleration, and good throwing power and accuracy. So he's not really good in anything, but I think he's a very good, well-balanced quarterback, especially since I have recruited some pocket passers with very low speed. So this guy will definitely contribute as a good change of pace player. And now here are the 269 wide receivers, both very good, both with over 90 speed. And in particular, I'm very high on this Freeman guy. He has great speed, great acceleration. He can play right away. Offensive lineman, nothing to talk about. I just want to mention that I focus on guys with good pass block ratings since that's critical to our game. Defensive lineman was a big need this year, so I got 4 of them. Linebacker is not a big deal because we got a lot of linebackers last year. Now cornerback and the secondary players in general are a huge area of focus for us since we got burned really badly over the top this year. So I was able to pick up 4 cornerbacks with over 90 speed, 90 or higher speed, which is fantastic. Like even though these guys, they have like only 61 overall, they're 90 speed and high 80s acceleration, which is great. And these final 2 guys have very, very good coverage skills along with speed. So I'm extremely, extremely high on the secondary players we recruited. And I got a kicker. He's not very good, but it's always good to get a kicker the year before your regular kicker graduates. And Norton will be a senior next year. So it's always good to have a kicker in the pipeline so that we don't set ourselves up for a shock when the senior graduates and then we have to play a freshman. It's okay to play freshmen at other positions, but it's not okay to play a freshman kicker unless if your kicker is phenomenal. It's like 4 stars or 5 stars, which we obviously can't get at this point. This guy, our final recruit, Calvin Smith. Oh, this guy is awesome. He has 90-90 speed straight off the bat already, and he has great coverage skills, and he can catch the ball. I mean, this guy is just unbelievable. He's only rated as a 66, but I think he will be much higher once we change him to either a wide receiver or a cornerback, and I think he can play right away. In terms of our pipelines, nothing new, but I am really looking to add Florida as a pipeline in the coming year because now we already got 1 recruit in Florida. We only need 3 more, whereas if we want to add Texas as a pipeline, we would need 4 more players. So we'll be focusing on getting 3 additional Florida players in the Season 3 recruiting. Okay, so that's it for the off-season. Now I want to show you guys Season 3 preseason. Just want to show you guys the schedule. It's a pretty tough schedule overall. We have Utah again as a rivalry game, and I've scheduled Ohio as an away game because we promised some of our recruits that we'll play a game in the state of Ohio. It's obviously easier to schedule like a Kent State or an Akron, but I want to add a challenge to the schedule this year and play at Ohio. So that's not going to be an easy win. And then, of course, with this year, we have Boise State, Fresno State, and Nevada in the same year, which we didn't have in the previous year because we did not have Nevada. And we had those 3 games at the end of the season, at the tail end of the season. So that's going to be a really challenging finish to the season. And we have to really take advantage of some of the easy games at the beginning of the season if we want to have a successful year. Especially games like UNLV, New Mexico, San Jose State. We got to win those games. And Army, of course, we got to win that as well. So hopefully we can improve upon 5 and 7, at least go 7 and 5, and hopefully 8 and 5 in the bowl game. Now in terms of depth chart, I'm gonna go with Freeman for now, but I think Stover can definitely see a lot of playing time, especially since he has a slightly higher speed and acceleration. We want Stover to move around a little bit, which is important. Since Freeman is not a runner at all, but Freeman has slightly better throwing power and throwing accuracy at this moment. Halfback, obviously, is going to be Cunningham, and we are going to feature Cunningham more in the running game this year, more than ever, because we have so many receivers. We don't need to depend on Cunningham to catch the ball. Now, in terms of our receivers, we have tremendous depth. BJ Kelly is the main man. This is the transfer we got from Oregon, and he's going to step in Maxwell's spot and just dominate games. Kazi will be like Cohen, since Cohen graduated, but Kazi and Cohen are pretty much the same. So Kazi will be our main possession receiver on the short routes. And then look at our spots 3 through 6. That is where the recruiting really makes a difference. 3 through 6 is 4 of our 790 speed receivers that we have, and I'm especially high on Ball and Sapp. In fact, Sapp already won Freshman All-American last year. And like I said earlier, Freeman definitely looks like he's going to contribute a lot. With 92 speed, 87 acceleration, great catch stats with 70 catch. Freeman and Sapp are going to be very good. And Ball is going to be very good as well, since he has very good release and route running skills. Robertson, not so good because insane speed at 96. So anytime you have 96 speed, you're always going to create mismatches. So overall, our receiver group is much better than the one we had last year. We have 5 guys over 70 rating, which is fantastic. I think last year we only had 3 receivers over 70 rating. Offensive line, nothing spectacular. As you guys can see, we're still playing mostly juniors and seniors. So we haven't had a chance to really let our offensive line recruits shine. But that usually happens. Offensive linemen take a while to mature. The secondary, it's definitely going to be much better than last year. I think Bridges, 93 overall, he is definitely a pro draft pick. And then we also have a very good strong safety as well in Diggs. And Davenport, as a backup safety at 76 rating, is insane. And our kicker, he's got to be one of the best in the country right now. And I think that's when I realized that my controller was broken, because there's no way you can miss that many extra points with a kicker that's 91 rated. But luckily I got a new controller, so hopefully we won't be missing any extra points going forward. Now I just want to show you guys the new recruits that I'm targeting for this year. And I think in particular, I'm targeting this guy, Drew Allen. He has insane throw power and throw accuracy. And this guy I am extremely high on. If we can get him, we can change our offense tremendously. And we're not going to get those deep passes intercepted because the pass is short. So offensive linemen, nothing to talk about. Defensive linemen, not a huge area of focus either, because we got so many last year. Linebackers, not so much either. Secondary, not so much on the cornerbacks and free safeties, but I'm very high on these 2 strong safeties. These guys have excellent ratings, even though they don't necessarily have the best speed, but 86 and 90 is pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to getting this Dan Woods guy. And we're also going to be looking for the punter to buffer the kicking a little bit. And then this guy, Slaughter, I am very high on. A 76 athlete. So that's it. See you next time.